Welcome to Bench Burner Sports, everybody. Appreciate you hopping in. It's going to be a rapid fire episode for us here today. We're just going to give our quick takes on UFC 312 coming up this weekend in Australia. It's not going to be a long one here. We are just trying to put some content out. We appreciate you guys hopping in as always. Knuckles, what do you think?
Hey man, I'm doing good. I would say I'm excited for this card this Saturday, but I'm gonna be brutally honest. It's decent. Um, it's I don't even know if it's decent. I low key on paper, I think the Saudi Arabia card was better, and that's bad because that's a fight night. But regardless, two title fights. Those two fights are the ones that matter, and they're really pretty fucking good title fights, honestly. And yeah, so I'm excited for those. Excited to see what happens with those. I believe the start time is late as shit. Of course it is. So
Normal time.
yeah, I guess it is. It's 10 p.m. Eastern so 9 p.m. Central. I guess that's not that bad, but
Yeah.
was hoping it'd be earlier, but obviously can't get what we want. So but yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to talk about it. I like talking about fights, regardless if they're bad, good, or not. So I'm here, man. Squared, how you doing, man? What do you think?
I'm doing good. You always hear that at least Dana likes to say this. It's the cards that don't look so good on paper that end up delivering. I want that to be true, and I hope that's true. I just don't have high expectations for this weekend. Pretty stale on paper. That being said, fights are fights, so they can always turn out however they want to turn out. Hopefully, they're good. So I'm looking forward to that possibility. I'll say that. Don't forget to follow us on X/Twitter at bench_burner, Instagram, what else? TikTok. And I think those are all that will be at Bench Burner Sports, one word. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Pods, all that. It's going to be Bench Burner Sports, 3 words. And yeah, let's do this, boys.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a card. It's a card for sure.
It's a card. It's a card.
It exists.
Yeah, it's one of those cards that we have to talk about.
One of them there's.
I will definitely be watching legally and on ESPN Plus. Absolutely, that'll be me for sure, 100%.
Or BT Sports if you're in like fucking Canada or whatever.
Absolutely.
Might be in Canada this week.
I think we want to start with the main event. We're going to start with DDP versus Sean Strickland. I think Sean Strickland wins. I thought he won the first fight. Don't have much to talk about on this. I think he's a little bit better. He's not susceptible as much to that craziness that DDP puts out there as most people are. And I really do think he just probably wins a decision. I think he should have won the first decision, but that's here and there. Knuckles, what do you think?
So again, I'll cook on like 2-3 fights this card maybe, and because we're gonna try to rapid fire. This is one of them that'll cook on a little bit, nothing too crazy. I think DDP wins. I like Strickland's. A lot of people don't like Strickland's fighting style. They say it's boring, and I get that. I'm one of those weird freaks that likes it. I just like watching him tactically kind of break down a fighter. I mean, I know he does the same thing, but they just can't figure it out. Kind of like they can't figure out DDP. And I just think that DDP gets better every fight. It's kind of like what I said with Nasruddin Imavov, continually getting better with every single fight. DDP, while he still does wild like caveman shit out there for whatever reason, which I still cannot comprehend how that works without him getting knocked out when he's in one of those weird fucking throwing himself forward motions. I just think that he's going to be a lot better. I think he's going to utilize the ground a lot more in this fight. I think we're going to see a shit ton of wrestling from DDP in this fight. And I kind of think that he probably might sub Strickland like late, kind of like the Izzy thing. I just think that he wears on people and it gets kind of overwhelming. I also think that he knows what Strickland's doing at this point. Because Strickland's not going to change anything he does. It's going to be the same thing because it's the same thing that we see in every single fight. He just does subtle things to change it. Also, and I'm not going to read too much into this, very obvious thing that people have been seeing on X. He potentially has staph infection. That drains the fuck out of you. So if it's true that he has staph, that's another thing I'm looking at. More so, though, I just think that DDP is getting better, and I think he will grapple a lot in this fight. And I think he'll, if he doesn't sub him, he's going to come away with like probably a 48-47. And I don't think it'll be like super close, but it'll be a 48-47 or 49-46. But yeah, that's me. Squared, what do you think about that, man?
So what I find interesting about this fight, and you've kind of hinted at it, is both these guys have fighting styles that previous opponents have described as being like difficult to handle or like hard to figure out. So what I find interesting about this is, and I could be mistaken on this, I don't think either fighter has ever had a rematch in the UFC. I could be wrong on that, but definitely not recently. So to see these two guys that have fought each other before with their difficult styles to have a rematch against each other, and possibly for the first time, both guys having a feel for the other guy. Wow, that was kind of a little bit of a tongue twister trying to get that out, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think that will make this really interesting. Like, who learned more from the last fight will be a kind of a component of the result of this fight. I did think that Sean won the first fight, and I
thought so too.
Yeah, I do think this will be a close fight, but I think DDP is going to pull this one away, just because I think he's got the momentum going for him. I do think I'd imagine he learned more from that fight than Sean might have, especially with the way it played out. Like, Sean, in my opinion, won the fight. So it's usually the guy who lost the fight that has more to learn, if you know what I'm trying to say. So I think DDP is going to be able to utilize that and come away with a win, probably a decision. If it does go 5 rounds, and I do expect Sean to kind of start bringing the heat towards the end, having the better moments. That's why I think it'll be a close fight again. But I think DDP wins a decision in the rematch.
I also think it's for me, it's wishful thinking. I just much more want to see DDP versus Hamzat than I do Sean versus Hamzat. I just think it's more compelling, like because DDP is the type of guy that Hamzat will get him on the ground, and DDP will do like 15 Granbies in a roll, and then fucking knee him upside down, do some wild. I just want to see that. He's also more of a hoss on the ground than Sean is. I'm interested in that. But anyway, go on to the next one there, Max. Sorry.
No, you're good. Hell yeah. Next one. Weili Zhang, Tatiana Suarez. Don't have much to say. Weili Zhang. Knuckles.
Yeah, this is the other one that I was going to cook on. All I'm going to say, really, I don't have too much to say. I think that a lot of people have too much faith in Tatiana because she does good in every fight. I don't think she dominates every fight. Everybody acts like she's a world beater. I'm not of that opinion. We saw the Montana De La Rosa. I know that was like a weird type of thing, but like that left me with a lot of questions. Also, the fact that she's constantly injured. She's also like 30 fucking 33. She's older, and has not had a lot of fights in her career. Weili has fought the best in the world multiple times, a lot. Tatiana's best win is Andrade, but it's like a fading Andrade. Weili beat the best version of Andrade, one of the best versions of Andrade. No, she lost to Rose. Sorry, I apologize. I forgot that, but beat the contenders coming up. And I just think she's all around. I think she's the best women's fighter in the world. So Weili Zhang by probably UD pretty comfortably, I think, actually. I think there'll be moments for Tatiana, but I think that Weili's just better everywhere minus some grappling exchanges. So, Squared, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I'm with y'all. Unanimous on this one. Zhang, she's that girl. I'll say that girl.
You say Shang-Chi?
I said Zhang.
Shang-Chi, he's trying to reference a fucking Marvel thing. You motherfucker. Of course he will.
Shang-Chi? Nerd. Tatiana, I love Tatiana, but it's been kind of sad to see what's come of female Habib, or whatever they called her, Lady Habib. Just super inactive, always hurt. Last time she fought, the three of us were in attendance, and
Holy shit!
that
I can't.
does that not feel like a long ass time ago? And it was a pretty long time ago. It was 20.
It'll be 2 years this fall. It'll be 2 years this fall, right? Yeah.
2 years in August. She's just, there's no way she comes in ready to take on Whaley. There's no chance.
Unless she's been training for the past year and a half. Sorry.
The only chance, okay, Harper wants to make an appearance. The only chance is if Zhang comes in and she is her age, not just her age, because Tatiana's old too, a year younger than Wei Li, but is if she comes in like her fight age, and her age just suddenly catches up with her out of nowhere, and Tatiana gets something going. I don't expect that to happen quite yet. I think that Wei Li takes it with a decision, 5-round. Probably all to her. Man, I don't want to say that, but yeah, more than likely 5 rounds, all to Wei Li.
She did. She's so good, man. She's so fucking good. She's so good, bro. Go ahead, man. So.
Yeah, the next one is Justin Tafa versus Taliesin Teixeira. Super excited for this one. I can't even contain my excitement. I think you all can tell that I am just like busting at the seams here talking about this.
Whoa.
Yeah. Can't wait.
He's going to have to clean off the keyboard after this pod.
Taliesin Teixeira just might pull this one off, I think. And that's all I have to say. Knuckles, go.
Justin Tafa, fucking Tafa gang. I probably not, but I'm gonna go with Tafa because like it's Sydney. What's that fucking Tafa? What's his face? Does the fucking aside fucking yeah. So yeah, Tafa, first round knockout, just because. Teixeira, if I fucking was playing it in my head because I couldn't remember who he was, and I remember he's a tall motherfucker. I'm pretty sure he hangs his chin out there. I think Tafa could find it. Tafa, first round knockout. And for some reason, Tafa's really good at knocking out tall fucking people. It's gonna be like Mark Hunt versus Stephen Struve. Just and that's it. Squared, what you got going, man?
Dude, to be honest, I was going to pick Teixeira just because he's a little fresher. Doesn't have, I don't want to say, I don't fucking know this guy. I've seen his Contender Series fight. But Tafa's got some pretty blaring weaknesses, to say the least. So that's what I was going to originally say, and then just pick Teixeira off that. But I like what you said. I want to see him knock the dude out. Why not? Let's do it. Let's see it.
I did it to Austin Lane, bro.
That one with this pick, manifesting it.
And I don't think that Teixeira's got a 100% finish rate, so I'll give him that. But anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead, Max.
I was just going to say you guys were wrong. But anyways.
Probably. That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm just trying to manifest it.
Jimmy versus
manifested this.
Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato.
Bellator.
Whatever the fuck it is, dude. Who cares?
Like gelato, but Bellato, yeah.
Yeah, Bellato's going to fucking win. That's all I got to say. Knuckles.
Bellato's going to win. Jimmy Crute's not won in 4 fights, and he retired like 2 years ago. Hasn't fought in a year and a half. It's fucking, yeah, it's Bellato. I always try to say something for every fight. I don't really have much to say. I just like trying to give some like input. The only thing I'll say,
not worth it. Not worth it for this one.
The only thing I'll say is Bellato went like tooth and nail war with Ihor Potieria for some fucking reason, so that gives me reason for pause. But I think Crute's cooked, man. I think he's fucking done. This should be his retirement fight, like done, over with. Get it fucking over. He's not meant for MMA. Go do what you're gonna do. That's all I gotta say. Squared, what do you got, man?
Yeah, dude. I don't want to waste my breath too much on this fight. So, who the fuck are we talking about again? Oh yeah, Bellato. Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Cheeks is what I call that guy. I try not to be disrespectful to fighters, but this just pisses me. And I wouldn't be disrespectful to him if this wasn't on the main event of a pay-per-view. Jimmy Cheeks, you're getting blown out this weekend. You're getting your cheeks clapped.
Jimmy Cheeks. All right.
Jimmy Cheeks. That's a fucking shout. I like that.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a fucking meme of just some.
Well, next we got Francisco Prado versus Jake Matthews. Francisco Prado is probably going to win this one. I'm not super confident because he's got a couple losses in his career so far in the UFC. But also Jake Matthews is Jake Matthews, and I think Francisco Prado should probably pull this one off. Knuckles, what do you think?
Jake Matthews supremacy. Jake Matthews supremacy. He's gonna win. Fucking, he's gonna knock him out. And then he's gonna do the fucking thing he did against Andre Fialho. Just fucking shrug. It's fucking Jake Matthews. It's he's back. He's back in his home area. I don't know if he's Australian or New Zealand, so I don't want to make a comment on that. But he's in his home area. He's a Celtic kid. He's the boy. I love Jake Matthews. I still got faith he can make a run, bro. I still got faith. He's like 20.
That wasn't a comment on whether or not he can win the fight. I was just letting you know.
I still think he's like 23. Something like he's like 23, so he's got time to make a run.
He's 30.
Close enough. There's a 3 in there. That's close enough.
He's 30. I
was fucking around because he's like been in the UFC forever and he's been young forever. Like he's been in the UFC since he was like 20, I think. Crazy. Anyway,
he's been in the UFC for a long time, no doubt.
Jake Matthews is gonna get it done. Knockout. Calling it. What do you guys swear?
Yeah, Jake Matthews. We're gonna see some of that crisp boxing, and he's gonna piece up Prado. Get the W, and that's all I gotta say about that. Celtic kid on top.
Prado looks AI generated. I don't care what anybody says. To me, he looks fucking weird. I don't know. I don't like it. Go ahead. the
last one we're going to talk about is on the prelims. It's Tom Nolan versus Slaviklaus Vladislav Borshev, or Vladislav Borshev.
He didn't do too bad the first. I like it. Yeah, he didn't do too bad.
Yeah, Vladislav Borshev. So I think Tom Nolan wins. I think it's home crowd. I think 24. He's young. Vladislav. I mean, he's looked good. Just
call him Slaviklaus.
Slaviklaus. Sorry. He's looked good. He won a fucking decision against James Launtrop, and then he lost to Chase Hooper. I think Tom Nolan gets it done. I think he finishes him. I know it's not a common thing for Slaviklaus, but I think he does. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got Tom Nolan. What do you think, Knuckles?
You know how they have like NBA, NFL, MLB, they all have like draft busts, right? And like obviously Dana White's Contender Series is kind of like MMA's or UFC's version of like a draft class, right? Every year, pretty much.
Yeah.
Tom Nolan is pretty much kind of like the Kwame Brown of the MMA draft, which means he fucking sucks. I have no faith in him. He's kind of supposed to be like Hardwick when Hardwick came in, and then Hardwick shit the bed too. I just don't have faith in Nolan to get it done because he just looks so timid in every single fight. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you were supposed to be this. You're like Obi-Wan says to fucking Anakin, you are the chosen. You know, like that. So that was actually a pretty good impression. Anyway, so I don't know, man. I just think he looks way too timid. Slaviklaus didn't really fucking impress me against Lon Top, but like, and then Chase Hooper Chase Hooper's on championship tear. Obviously, he's the next champion. So, I'm gonna pick Slaviklaus, and I'm gonna pick it by knockout because Nolan's chin is also suspect. And I just think Nolan's a draft bust, dude. He's an MMA bust. He's a who's that fucker at middleweight? Edmund Shabazian. He's an Edmund Shabazian. That's exactly what he is.
Okay.
Slaviklaus.
That's crazy to say about a person.
The only reason I want to talk about this fight because I wanted to shit.
That's crazy to say about a person with one loss. But anyways, Matt, what do you think?
I'm picking Tom Nolan. I don't know why. That's my pick.
Hell yeah.
Literally, the only reason I want to talk about it is because I want to shit on Tom Nolan because he looks so fucking timid. That's the only reason. But anyway, that's it.
That's everything,
right.
Boys. Again, follow us on all our socials. Twitter is bench_burner. Everything else is like Bench Burner Sports.
At Bench Burner Sports, except for places that don't do handles, that's going to be Bench Burner Sports.
Yeah. Cool. Oh yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys hopping in for this little quick episode. It's probably going to be 30 minutes. We love you guys.
It was 20 minutes.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, we love you guys, and always love talking with you. So, peace.
Peace, y'all.